At 18, she graduated and eloped with Matt Martinez, a 24-year-old assistant coach of the Miami Hooters, an arena football team.
I was 18, I thought I was in love, ready to have kids.
It's interesting because there's so many young girls out there who adore you, look up to you. And what would you tell them about getting married young?
You have to give a relationship time, and only time can tell whether, it's going to work. And definitely, spend at least, 4 seasons with somebody that you love, and, so you could see how their different moods are. And don't rush into it. You have all the time in the world, really. That's what I would.
How long did you know Matt before you got married?
3 months.
In December 1994, when Niki was 19, she and Matt had twin boys, Jake and Hunter. Now, how much weight did you gain when you were pregnant?
70 pounds.
70 pounds?
Yes. I was pretty big. I was like 200 and something.
So your normal weight is what?
Yeah. 130.
Did you immediately take to mothering?
Yeah. You know what the scariest thing was, is when they let you take your baby home. We're going down the elevator, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're going to just let us take them home.
A lot of women in your position, being a top model, would not have had babies. It could have been, they could have considered that a career negative.
I wanted to have kids since I was 16, and I was prepared. I've done pretty much everything. I've traveled, I've made some money, and I wanted to have them young and grow up with them.
4 months later, those 70 pounds had melted off, and Niki was back, parading through the fall fashion shows. The teenage Krissy was also coming into her own as a model. Neither could imagine that the spring 1995 runway show would be one of Krissy's last.
Shocked and surprised, those are the reactions tonight to the death of 17-year-old Krissy Taylor.
In the early morning hours of July 2nd, 1995, Niki Taylor stopped by her parents' home to pick up her car. She found her sister collapsed on the floor. Less than 90 minutes later, Krissy Taylor was pronounced dead. She was 17 years old. Well, Niki, how did you deal with that?
It was not easy. It was very hard. And you never know, losing a best friend, not only blood, but a best friend, she's just not here anymore. I think that's the biggest part. I can't call her or ask her for advice. Every day. I always think about her, and I'm constantly, why?
Why Krissy Taylor died was a mystery. The medical examiner put the cause of death as bronchial asthma. She'd been using an over-the-counter asthma inhaler for occasional shortness of breath, but had never been officially diagnosed as asthmatic.
The biggest thing is that people thought it was a drug thing,
But there was no...
Yeah, no. She was the healthiest person I've ever known.
So it was totally non-drug related.
Yeah, because we didn't answer to the press. We were like, leave us alone, and they just came up with their own stories.
Desperate for answers about the loss of their daughter, the Taylor family turned to a cardiologist. He concluded that Krissy died of a rare heart disease called right ventricular dysplasia that can cause sudden death in adolescents and young adults. The family now believes that this was the primary cause of Krissy Taylor's death. But you didn't work directly after Krissy's death, right? You took some time off.
Yeah. And then it was like time to go back to work, keep myself busy, and, kept my mind on my boys and work. Boys, work. But
did you ever want to give up?
Oh yeah, plenty of times, but they were all, I was like, no, wait, for Jake and Hunter's sake, I always had to, I looked at them and I was like, man, I'm stronger than this, and we're going to get through this, and, move on. I don't know, it was her time to, move on, I think.
And you really believe that?
Yeah. She did what she had to do. That's how I look at it now. That's why I can talk about it now. And there's not one day that goes by where I don't think of her or talk to her.
How do you talk to her?
Just when I'm by myself or just walking, or if I think there was a sign or something, that she's always around me. I know she's always around me.
Shortly following Krissy's death, Niki faced another jolt. Her marriage fell apart. The couple separated, then divorced last August.
There was differences, but you know, now we're separated, trying to be friends. We're going to be grandparents together. So we have to make the best for Jake and Hunter. I'm lucky because I have that financial stability and I can raise my kids with or without a husband. Everything that I've been through, everything's a learning experience. It's made me a stronger person, definitely. I've never felt so in control in my life, and it feels so good.
So what does the future hold for Niki Taylor? She says she's going to keep modeling until people get sick of her. Not likely. But she says she would be willing to give it up and have a few more children and just be a mom.